Hello there, I'm here to talk you through making your interactive timeline for BTEC Unit 16 Task 1. By this point you should have done all of your research, and now we're going to spend a bit of time putting it into a nice whizzy timeline that you can hand in and should get you a distinction. The first thing you need to do before you can start building your timeline is you need a Google account. If you've already got a Google account, you need to log into it now. If you don't have a Google account, listen carefully and follow the steps. The first thing you need to do is you need to create an account by looking for Google Accounts. Okay, when you type that in, you will see that it will come up as Google Account and then create new Google account. Once you're there, you need to fill in all of the details on the right hand side of the screen just here. So I'm going to put some in quickly. Okay, so I'm putting all my details in here. Now I'm not going to put in my mobile number, and I need to give it an email address that I can find, because that is going to send me my confirmation details. So I'm obviously going to use my account details for this one. You need to use your Hotmail account or your Key Stage 5 account, whatever it is you need to use. And then you need to put in the details that are down here. And make sure you do that really carefully. You then need to agree to the policy, and you don't need to personally use the +1, so it's up to you whether you leave it ticked or not. And then we go to next step. Okay, when we get there, you'll find you're given a new Gmail address. You can use this, obviously it is yours now, but you may want to use your old Hotmail one or whatever account you've got instead. And then we hit get started. That will then take us into our account settings. Now once we're here, it doesn't really matter what you do, so you can ignore those for now and just go back to the Google homepage. Okay. Once we're there, next thing you need to look for is you need to go to TimelineJS. Okay, and again it will appear for you on here. So you click TimelineJS and it will take you through to the timeline homepage. And when it loads, what you'll see is that there are lots and lots of information and things going on here. We only need the important bit, which is down here, make a timeline. Where it says on your site or blog in no time at all, as easy as 1, 2, 3. This is the bit we need. First thing we need to do is that we need to use the Google template. And what you're going to do is you're going to hit the template spreadsheet button here. When I click that, as long as I've signed in already, it will take me through to a wonderful template that looks a little bit like an Excel spreadsheet. Now you're used to using these already. Once you found it and it's loaded, hit use this template and you will see that Google Docs automatically opens it ready to be edited. Now of course the most important thing here is that all of this information is all going to be useless to you. So you can go through and you can delete all of the content of everything that's in there for now, because you don't need to worry about it. Okay? I'm going to leave this one in here just as an example at the top. What I'd then do is I would go through and I'd put in the start date and end date of each of the bits of research I've found. So it might be the birthday of the Lumiere brothers, and then it might be the day they died, so that might be my end date. Okay? The headline is what we want to call it. So in this case it would be Lumiere brothers. The text is the research you found out. What have you found out about the Lumieres? What have you managed to research on them? Media allows you to share some information, so some examples. You might want to put in a YouTube link to their work. You might want to put in a photo of them. Okay, you can use it as long as you've got a valid web address that you can copy into this box. Media credit is very important because we want to avoid plagiarism. What you need to do is put in wherever you got the media you've used from. So it might be the website address, it might be a YouTube link, or it might be somewhere else. Media caption, you don't need to worry about that. It's just a little title for the picture. So if I put my mouse on it and leave it for long enough, it will bring up the title. You can ignore the thumbnail, type and tag boxes. You do not have to worry about these. What you need to do is go through and add everything that you found out into your timeline. You do not need to add it in order because the timeline will automatically order itself based on these start and end dates. If you run out of rows, then you need to obviously use the add button down here and add as many rows as you need. Try not to add 20 in one go, try and add one at a time, and that will make your life easier to keep track of. Once you've done it and you've got your details and your dates in, what you need to do is that you need to then go back to File and Publish to the web. Once I've done that, I make sure that I have automatically republished when changes are made, so this will update itself whenever you make changes to it. And then you hit Start Publishing. Once you've hit Start Publishing, you will notice at the bottom here you get an HTML link to this document. Okay, you need to make sure you copy this document and then you go back to TimelineJS, and down here by step 3 you will see there is a spreadsheet URL box. Paste that into there. You can then have a look at these. We don't have to worry about moving too much of these around. We don't have to worry about these unless you want to change your the look of your timeline. You might decide you want to do that after you've finished it with it. You then come down and you hit the preview button, and the preview button will then bring up the template and the spreadsheet you've made, and it will then allow me or Miss Bergin or Mr. Dowson, Miss Jones or Miss Walkie-Williams to go through them and double check each listing and everything that you've put in together, so I can see everything you've put on your research. If you decide to make any changes, if you come back up here, you can then decide what kind of look you want to go for with your fonts, and then if there's anything else you want to do with it. That's everything to it. The final thing you need to do is on link to preview, you then need to copy and paste the link at the top of the page in the URL box, and you need to email that to your teacher so that we can store it on the tracker and we can mark it. That's everything. Good luck with making your timeline, and I look forward to seeing the results.